radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? All right, Fade to Black, Monday, March 21st, 2022. 80 days into the new year, only 285 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. A total undisclosed location. But it is beautiful in here. It is indeed. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black. For KJCR, the Game Changer, and Unnext Networks, Race Hobbs, I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? All right. It is another completely first-time guests week here on Fade to Black. Tonight, kicking it off this week, Elisabeth Hoekstra is with us for the first time. She's going to tell us how to biohack your life. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels is here. Also, for the first time, we're going to be discussing the paranormal, the supernatural, ghost hunting with spooky babes. That is tomorrow night. Wednesday night, Sean Cahill. Man, Sean Cahill joins us. Also, for the first time, we're going to be talking about the subject of UAPs, Skyfort. What is Skyfort and beyond? That is Wednesday night. And, of course, Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long. All right. Everybody wants their own crystal skull. I know you do. I just hung out with Carolyn Ford, by the way, this weekend in Sedona. More on that in just a bit. And visit Carolyn Ford's website. It's right there, EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Click on the banners over at Jimmy Church Radio. You know, we run the commercials here and everything. It's right there, and the promo code is Jimmy. 10% off of your Crystal Skull order today. She has the absolute very best. And went to dinner with Carolyn on Saturday night. I posted pictures, and you guys can go check that out. But she was, I love the Fader knots. I just love every time somebody orders something from me, they always put it in a little note, you know, Jimmy Church Radio, and it just made me feel so good. So just go and visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio, at JChurchRadio. The sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. It's live right in front of me right now. Any questions or comments during the show? Hashtag F2BQ. Yes, I just got back from a road trip with Adrian Valera from Disclosure Fest and The Odd Couple. It was great, man. It was just so awesome traveling with Adrian. And it's so funny. I'm going to say this about Adrian. I hope he's listening right now. We're such good friends. And we couldn't be more opposite, except for music. We love the same music. But it's just so funny how we're just brothers. We're just brothers, and that long. We left Friday morning at 8 a.m. Remember, I'm on the air the night before, right? So Friday morning, boom, we're on the road, and we take off. So two guys in a Jeep for the next 72 hours, right? In close quarters, and it was so much fun, man. It was just great conversation, great hanging out with Adrian, and what an adventure. I will get back to much of that in just a bit, but let me say this. So just put this in perspective, because even like right now, I'm not 18 years old anymore. I'm not 20 years old. And to do what the two of us did, which is Friday morning drive for 7 hours to Sedona, all day, no rest, no naps, no afternoon nap. Get to Sedona, change clothes, out for a Skywatch, and then and whatever, and that lasted till midnight. Turn around, boom, up in the morning, drive to Sedona. We were outside of Sedona. Drive to Sedona, do the conference all day, wrap that dinner, and then the party that night that we went to. The next thing you know, we were up for 15, 16, 17 hours straight, and turn around, drive back to our cabin in the woods, and few hours of sleep. In the morning, up early, drive to Phoenix, then the 25th anniversary of the Phoenix Lights that afternoon. A few hours there, do that. It was great, Linkate. And then back in the Jeep, driving to Los Angeles and getting here last night. It was just non-stop. And I remember we got here last night, and I was like, whoa, man, I feel like I just did. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And then what have I got in front of me? I got a week hanging out with all of you here on Fade to Black. And like I said, I'm not 18 anymore. So there you go. All right. It was fun. It was fun. Keeps you young. Telling you right now. Foot on the gas. Literally. Let's get to the breaking news. Weeks after Moscow forced the 11th hour cancellation of a rocket launch for British satellite venture OneWeb from Russia's Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, the company said today that it had contracted with SpaceX to send its satellites into orbit. Terms of the deal with SpaceX, which is a direct competitor of OneWeb, were not disclosed. Earlier this month, OneWeb called off the scheduled March 4th launch of 36 satellites and suspended ties with Russia's space agency, Roscosmos. Also, speaking of billionaires in space, Blue Origin employee Gary Lai, the chief architect of the company's new Shepard vehicle, will replace Saturday Night Live star Pete Davidson on the upcoming NS-20 mission, which is scheduled to launch on March 29th. Lai joins 5 paying customers on the flight: investor Marty Allen, couple Sharon and Mark Hagel, Jim Kitchen, and George Nilde, the president of Commercial Space Technologies, LLC. Now, over to Australia. Australia is in the news today. Got a couple. Australia's media regulator will now be able to force internet companies to share data about how they have handled misinformation and disinformation under new laws that help government efforts to rein in big tech. The Australian Communications and Media Authority will also be able to enforce, keyword, enforce an internet industry code on uncooperative platforms. Yeah. Also, Boeing in Australia, that's right. Boeing announced the name of its newest combat drone. They did all of this today. It's called the MQ-28A Ghost Bat. The drone, which is being produced in Australia, utilizes artificial intelligence and is part of what was previously known as the Loyal Wingman Project, an initiative to give fighter pilots an uncrewed partner in the sky. This new generation of drones is intended to fly alongside crewed fighter jets and assist in everything from jamming radar to conducting surveillance to firing on targets. The Ghost Bat is the first combat aircraft to be manufactured in Australia in over 50 years. Now, on to the poles. Earth's poles are undergoing what is being called freakish heat waves, with parts of Antarctica more than 70 degrees warmer than average, and areas of the Arctic up north more than 50 degrees warmer than average. Weather stations in Antarctica shattered records last week as the region neared autumn, taking scientists by surprise because they were paying attention to the north, the Arctic, where temperatures were also rising. They are opposite seasons, and I didn't know this. That's right, their seasons are supposed to be in opposites. You don't see the North and South poles both melting at the same time. All of this according to Walt Meyer, an ice scientist at the National Snow and Ice Data Center in Boulder, Colorado. The New York Fire Department has just added Boston Dynamics $75,000 robot dogs known as Spot to their firefighting team. It will be used to aid in search and rescue missions, and all of this according to fire officials there in New York City. Their rollout comes less than a year after the New York Police Department was forced to terminate its contract with Boston Dynamics amid concerns about the privacy of the robot dogs. Yeah. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Gary Oldman is 64. Now, when you think of Gary Oldman, lots of great movies, right? He's one of my favorite actors. But True Romance, that's where I'm going. Matthew Broderick today is 60. Of course, always Ferris Bueller. And guitarist David Lindley today is 77. That unbelievable guitar sound for Jackson Browne and so many other artists. He's just a great guitar player. Supertramp's Roger Hodgson today is 72. Striper drummer Robert Sweet. You remember? He plays sideways. He doesn't play facing the audience. No, he plays sideways. Today, Robert Sweet is 62. And the Stray Cats' Slim Jim Phantom today is 61. Our dead guy's birthday today is Sean Lane. 1961 to 2003, died at the age of 42. At the age of 14, what were you doing when you were 14? At the age of 14, Sean became the lead guitarist for Black Oak, Arkansas. His first solo album, Powers of 10, that's right, Powers of 10, released in 1992, quickly became one of the most studied recordings by guitarists around the world. In 1992, Guitar Player magazine named him the best new talent, and Keyboard magazine placed him second in the best keyboard player category. He died in a hospital in Memphis on September 26th, 2003, of lung-related illnesses. I knew Sean. He was just a great guy. That's all I have to say. He was just a great, nice, humble, kind, and talented person. Happy birthday, Sean Lane. On this day in history, OTD, 1963. Alcatraz prison in the San Francisco's Bay closes down and transfers its last prisoners. It opened in 1907. So what? It was 55 years in operation. Fader fact. Okay, here you go. This is a Fader fact. 45 years ago, 45 short years ago, ahi tuna were caught for fun and ground into pet food in Japan. In Japan, tuna was called neko matagi, which means fish that even a cat would disdain. That's right. That's a fact. Then Japan figured out a way to sell it to Americans, uncooked. And the rest is history. That is a fader fact. Tonight, very special guest, Elisabeth Hoekstra. We are doing 2 weeks in a row, first-time guests week here on Fade to Black. Elizabeth is with us tonight. She's going to tell us how to biohack our life. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels is here for the first time. It's going to be ghost hunting with spooky babes. Tomorrow night with Stormy Daniels. Wednesday night, Sean Cahill joins us. We're going to be talking about UAPs, Skyfort. Do you know what Skyfort is? You're going to find out on Wednesday with Sean Cahill. And we're going to go way beyond that. Thursday's another Fader night with open lines all night long. All right. Yeah, you know, you're right about that. The Fifth Element. Yeah, that's a good call. That's from Triscale, Gary Oldman. But Ken Priest knows what I'm talking about. Follow me on Twitter. Just follow me on Twitter. Go look at the hashtag F2B feed, and you'll see how the Fadernauts are so on top of their game. And it's just so much fun. I have, because of the Fadernaut family, I have got a host of producers that work for this show. Just fast. All right. It's time for me to hit this Rivermoon coffee. RivermoonWellness.com. Fade to Black Blend. Best coffee in the world. It truly is. All day today. You know what? So we're on the road, and Adrian and I didn't take my French press. And it's a long story. I had it set out. I forgot to grind coffee in advance, and it was just and I spaced it. And I get, to Sedona, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have coffee. Oh no, what am I going to do in the morning when I go? This is bad. So anyway, a weekend without Rivermoon coffee, and I'm driving back all the way here. I just thought about Rivermoon coffee. I got here last night, 10:30 at night. Just, see you later, Adrian. He's pulling out. Bye. He's gone. I ran in the house, man, grinding beans. All day today, Rivermoon coffee, Fade to Black Blend, all day. Just so good. RivermoonWellness.com. I like my coffee, Doc. When I do commercials, it's so easy because this is just my voice, right? This is it. You hang out with me in person, this is what you get. I go and cut a commercial, right? And roll into I like my coffee, Doc. I just it's all I got to do. It's just my voice. It's easy because I do. I like my coffee, Doc. So has become my favorite word. This weekend, I caught myself. This started with me about 6 months ago. I could hear myself going, so. And so I just got back from this 3-day road trip with Adrian Valera of Disclosure Fest. Go to disclosurefest.org. It's the biggest event of the year for our community right here in Los Angeles. 20,000 beautiful souls gathering in downtown Los Angeles at the historic LA Park. And it's just an amazing event. And running around with Adrian and listening to him do his thing. He's a mover and a shaker. Adrian gets stuff done. Just gets stuff done. He's incredible. He's so inspirational. except after 3 days with him, and I was inspired to wave goodbye, and I'll catch up with him later. But he's just incredible. We had a great time. And yeah, we went from L.A. to Sedona to Phoenix and back to L.A. last night. But here's what I want to talk to you about. I know that I want to talk about our Skywatch on Friday night with Michael of Sedona. And I posted some pictures. And Michael is a great guy. He's a guitar player. He's got a great guitar collection. He's very knowledgeable. And has been in Sedona for a long time, and the perfect match for me, guitars and UFOs, right? Okay, so we went up to the Sedona airport, which sits on a hilltop looking down on Sedona, down on the city below. And it's kind of a weird thing for you to picture, but it is exactly what you are picturing. From Sedona down in the city, there's this hip it's right there. It takes you can get up from downtown Sedona just 5 minutes. You can see the cars going up there. It's right there. There's this plateau. There's an airport on top of it. And that's where we went. So we went up there. We were going to go to Bradshaw Ranch, and I know that I told everybody I was going to live stream from out there, and that was the plan. And it was the plan until we looked at the schedule and getting out to Bradshaw Ranch, which is not in Sedona. It's an hour away on dirt roads, maybe 2 hours by the time you get up to Bradshaw. It's remote. And then the next thing you know, we're going to spend a couple hours up at Bradshaw and then 2 hours back. Now it's a 5-6 hour thing at the end of a 7-hour drive from LA. It was just an impossible thing to do. So we went up and did our Skywatch from the airport above Sedona. Now, here's the deal. It was incredible. I don't know. Now, we couldn't. I had plenty of. I had all the cell, all the internet, all the connection I needed. I went to connect from up there, and it was darkness, and I couldn't because you wouldn't have seen anything. And I tried, but I couldn't. Even with the light on, with it was no. So anyway, we didn't do that. But let me say this. Let me tell you what ended up happening. We were up there for about 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, I'm guessing about 100 sightings, about 100. It was constant. It never stopped. But here's the thing. I think all of it, I'm not sure if any of it, except for one, which was the first sighting. I think everything was, something to do with the secret space program, something else going on. But they were crisscrossing. Satellites, if it's a satellite, that's fine. It's east-west and everything is going away. But these, it was crisscrossing madness. There were times, it was most of the night, 3, 4, 5 at the same time going on. It was nuts. But here, let me tell you what happened. So when we first get up there, we're just like getting settled and things, and it's stuff with naked eye. You're looking up and you're like, okay, all right, it's go time. This is what happened. We were facing the city, right? It's below us, so I guess that's north. And then at an angle, low and slow, bright, big object came over from behind us at an angle, just low and slow, and just kept going. It was white, it was round, it was low, clearly defined, and we watched it for about 2 or 3 minutes and it just went over behind the trees and then just kept going over the horizon, just low and slow. If it was a satellite or Space Force or the X-37B, I don't know. it was like too low to be in orbit, in my opinion. It was in our atmosphere, whatever it was. But it was that was the second best sighting of the night. Normally, that kind of sighting is something you remember for the rest of your lives, and you tell all of your friends about this amazing craft that went over really slow, bright, low, clearly defined, and did its thing. And you're going to tell that's your UFO sighting of a lifetime. But that wasn't the best sighting of the night, in my opinion. The best sighting of the night was in the opposite direction, way up high. Now, you're watching these satellites, UFOs, objects, or whatever they are. Some are satellites. And you're watching these all night long, and you're used to the pace of them. You're used to the speed and things. All right. Then this happened. From my right to left, I guess that would be like east to west at a slight angle, but high. This is a very light object, very small and barely lit up. But this thing was hauling balls. This thing went across the sky like this. Fast. I have no idea what kind of speed that was. But when you're watching everything else, and you're used to this pace and you're used to this thing, and something like that goes across the sky in seconds? What is that? I don't know. That it just catches you by surprise. It just doesn't look right. It's way too fast. Now, I started thinking to myself, could it have been like an asteroid doing 200,000 miles an hour, some crazy speed? I don't know. But it wasn't like anything else I have ever seen. And it covered the sky in fact, I didn't even see it. It disappeared. So I didn't see where it went. It stopped like right about here. But from there to here, just, it was fast. It was fast. It was incredible. I had a great night. Thank you to Michael of Sedona. Just a great evening. Great host. Really knows what he's doing. If you're ever in Sedona, look up Michael of Sedona, Arizona UFO Tours, ArizonaUFOTours.com. He's great, very knowledgeable, and have him take you up to the airport. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Elisabeth Hoekstra is here. It is another first-time guests week here on Fade to Black. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels is with us. Spooky Babes. Wednesday night, Sean Cahill. Skyfort. Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer and UnX Networks. This is Fade to Black. I'll be right back after this short break with our guest, Elisabeth Hoekstra. Stay right there.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years, and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time.
It's new.
It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. First time guest week again this week, 2 weeks in a row. Tonight, Elizabeth Hoekstra is here. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels. That's right, the Stormy Daniels is here. Wednesday night, Sean Cahill. Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Tonight, it's Elizabeth. She's finally here on Fade to Black for the first time. We're going to be talking about her new best-selling book, The Recipe to Elevated Consciousness. Her career first started in the entertainment industry at a young age as a model and actress on nationally syndicated television programs, movies, music videos, magazines, which continued to expand while she attended Davenport College for business management and marketing administration. Elizabeth received her real estate license in 2017 and has contributed significantly to several charities, focusing her efforts on children's health and education, both through hosting fundraisers and parlaying all of that experience with her political connections into advocacy. Now, throughout her various careers, she has seen how stress can take its toll on your physical well-being, leading to her most recent professional engagement. Elizabeth is founder of Biohack Your Best Life and the director of operations at Forbidden Knowledge. Her websites are right there, and the links are over on her website throughout social media, ElizabethHoekstra.com and ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. I would like to welcome for the first time to Fade to Black. She's here, Elizabeth Hoekstra. Elizabeth.
Hello, Jimmy. What's good?
What is going on? Now, we're going to start off with this. You get the first-time guest disclaimer Believe it or not, Billy got it once. Okay. All right. So it's just you and I, Elizabeth, sitting on my couch having a conversation as friends. And where that conversation starts, it starts. Where it ends. But we're going to end as friends. There you go.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah, right. Now, I'm going to start off with this. You and I just recently had a chance to hang out somewhere on the East Coast, but we took some selfies, and I've never posted the selfies. And the reason why is I didn't want to make your friends jealous. I didn't want your friends to go, who's that guy with you, Elizabeth? Holy crap. But did we have a great time or what? That was just amazing.
Yes, it was awesome. We had such a good time. I'm so glad. I had heard so much about you. And then I remember a couple times Billy was on your show, and I was, in the background kind of listening in. So he had amazing things to say about you. So I'm so happy that we finally got to meet. It was great.
Yeah, and we've got lots of things that we're doing, but putting all of that aside, I wanted to ask you. So I'm going to go straight out of left field. Mm-hmm. Have you ever done a Skywatch with night vision gear and gone out to look at UFOs? Have you done that yet?
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. So Billy and I, we just recently went to the Maldives.
Yes.
And he had gotten those infrared goggle things right before we went because there's no light pollution out there. So I'm like, listen, we have to get something to be able to, to look. So we ended up looking, but I guess they weren't good quality, right? So we ended up not using them, but we were outside and we saw this huge flash in the sky. It was like a bright, just flash, and it went away. And it was not a star. It was not.
I lost your audio. It faded.
Oh, no.
No, it's okay. No, now you're back. Tap on the microphone. Just go like this. Okay, it's on. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. I panicked. This show isn't about Billy, but Billy and I one night we're together and we're doing the Sky. We had a huge group of people with us, a couple hundred, but Billy had never seen it, and I love the opportunity to have a virgin, right? Somebody that's never gone through this before. Because I know that they're going to go, what? Right? And so Billy and I, and it's on video too. It's a funny video clip. But for him to go through that for the first time, to see things up there, because without you don't see anything, right? But then you look through and you see the stuff going on, and it's a real holy crap moment where and here's the thing. And one of these days, the three of us will go out together and we'll go do this.
Please, I want to do this so bad. He told me about this, so
I'm sure he did, because it was just mind blowing. And this is the weird thing about it, Elizabeth, is after that, your first time, your first night, the next night, or you're back home, because we all look up and see stars, but now you're looking up going, I know there's stuff up there now. You know what I mean? Now it's really fun to do. So anyway, here's the thing. How did you start to look at yourself and think, I've got to make some changes, but you don't know how to do this? Right, you need, and I everybody on this planet, I don't care who you are, myself included. I am the most imperfect person here. I'm always trying to do something every day, some little thing to improve myself. But we all know this. We're all lazy, first off. But what made you? What was that moment when you went, you know what? It's not right. I've got to figure something out here. What happened?
So it probably, what started it was, my son. When my son was born, he's 9 now, 9.5. half. So that's almost 10 years ago. Wow, I'm getting old. So it was probably when I found out that I was pregnant with him. I had to change at that point because, I didn't want to end up in jail or something and have my son be in foster care. Or, I stopped all the crazy stuff and really started trying to get my life back on track. So he's really the beginning of the real change.
And what is it? And you and I were talking about this earlier. I know that with myself personally, the phases in my life that I've gone through, where I know that I've got to work myself out of this somehow. But it's just like you just don't know what to do, and you look around and you see people that you think are happy. They're actually not. But how can I get to where they are? And it seems so insurmountable, like it's impossible. But it's not, is it?
No. And you know what? A lot of people, growing up, I really dove into negative ways to soothe myself, right? And a lot of people, they're filled up with stress and all of this emotion. They distract themselves with stimulus, right? They try to find these ways to really soothe themselves, and usually it's not in a very healthy manner.
What's your definition of a stimulus? I'm curious.
Stimulus, anything in this outer world, anything. It could be car driving down the street, just any sort of movement, or anything in this three-dimensional world is stimulus. In the Western civilization, we have way too much stimulus. We're go, go, go. I'll sleep when I die. I mean, this is the mind frame that our society unfortunately has in this Western culture. So we're filled up with stimulus, whereas back in the day, or maybe a tribe in Africa or something that's living off the land, they don't have so much busyness, stimulus going on around them. So they're more present, they're more in tune, right? So yeah, stimulus is just really the busyness of this outer world.
How did you start? There's got to be a certain amount of research, and we'll get to that in a bit. I don't want to get too ahead of our skis, but there also are the direct changes that you have to start to do. And that is the beginning of the biohack, where you have to make some serious decisions about your path forward, right? Yeah. I mean, I was using negative ways to try to soothe myself, but I was always looking for something to make myself feel better. So the thing that really stemmed everything was when I was 19. My best friend, I was over at his house. I used to live with him, and his next door neighbor actually had a brain training unit. He had a brain training business. So, my best friend introduced me to the neighbor, and I'm like, I talked to him, and he's telling me about brain training. And I'm like, wow, this sounds really amazing, And at the time, I had just, gotten out of a drug binge, and I was just really, really out of it. I had a ton of brain fog, and I could hardly finish sentences at that time, which was really depressing for me because I was always very, naturally pretty smart, book smart in school. So, when I couldn't even really think straight, I knew I had a problem. So I was really searching for anything to help myself, and that fell into my hands that day. So literally that evening, I went and I brain trained when I was 19, and that started everything for me. That changed my whole trajectory of my life. So now I'm curious, what is brain training?
So neurofeedback or brain training, the system that I used back when I was 19 is different from the one that I use today. So there's a whole bunch of different devices, different neurofeedback devices. But basically what it is it's showing your brain what's going on with it, right? If you're unaware of an issue within your body or something, you don't know how to correct it because you don't even know it's there, right? Just like your brain, it's like putting a mirror up to your brain. Now your brain can see these issues. Now your brain can correct these issues in real time. And so basically, I got my whole brain mapped that night. And he found out that I was in deep freeze, which is a stress response. And then, I started training, and I brain trained every single day for 5 days straight. And after that 5th day, it was crazy. My brain fog, broke up with an abusive ex-boyfriend, and I moved back in with my mom, signed up for school. It was just, my life, that was the beginning of the change for me.
And when somebody sees you today in your videos, listens to your podcast, or sees an image of you, or meets you in person, right, like I have, and look, and just like, wow, right? Well, it's not an easy road to get there.
No,
it's a lot of work, right? These weren't gifted to you. No. You had to go out and go through these processes. And I like this brain to go and see what your brain is actually doing to you. Most people don't even think about that. And you were able to do that and identify it. But that is just the beginning of the journey, isn't it?
Yeah, that was definitely just the beginning. Yes.
It wasn't. It didn't happen in the Maldives.
No.
Didn't happen at the Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay, so now you take this knowledge, and again, I don't want to get ahead of our skis, but help me understand. Now you know it can be done. Right, that there is an internal process if you only know what to do. That it's not hopeless. Life is not hopeless. Right, now you're coupled with this this knowledge. It's a tool for you to continue this and try to figure out a way to biohack and continue this. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, I will be very transparent with people. When I found brain training, yes, it really did help me to get over my brain fog and get over certain things that were, really affecting me negatively in my life. But I didn't use it in the way that I was supposed to back when I was 19. That was at the beginning of my modeling and acting career. And, I moved to LA and I was living the Hollywood life. I was partying with the best of them, and so there were a lot of drugs and alcohol out there. And honestly, I would brain train, but I would do it in a negative way. I would brain train because I was feeling so, out of it, and just really out of it. Brain fog is inflammation in the brain. Drugs and alcohol give you inflammation in the brain. So I was walking around with brain fog all the time. So anytime that I would come back to Michigan, I would go brain train to feel better, so I could go party some more. So that was kind of like a loop of using it in not the proper way for a couple years there.
And what happened next?
So let's see here. It really, honestly, my biohacking journey didn't really necessarily start until my son. I did do a couple things here and there. I was always interested in acupuncture, and so I would get acupuncture here and there. I had this kind of dualistic life where I looked very successful from the outside. I looked like I was living the dream, and like I was living the life that everybody wanted to live, that girls just, would grow up and want to be this girl on the red carpet. And, but internally I was suffering. I was really, really suffering. And, I was heavily into drugs and alcohol, and just, self-soothing by distracting myself, from myself. I would be at parties all night. I would be at parties all day, so I really, really was living this life. It looked very successful from the outside, but on the inside, it just, I was really, really suffering. I was stuffing internally, at anything.
Okay. Your audio's dropping out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So let's repeat the last 30 seconds.
So it took me a little while just to really dive into the actual biohacking and really doing the internal shadow work. It took a while because I was really wrapped into the Hollywood lifestyle and, the entertainment world. That world alone, will suck you up and spit you out. So, I really didn't dive deep into the healing until after my son. So during that time, it was I was doing a lot of successful, quote unquote, successful stuff, doing TV shows and movies and magazines, but yet, internally I was really, really in a bad place, So like you said earlier, people, they look successful, they look happy, but, no one, not no one, but people, tend to really be suffering on the inside most of the time and covering it up in some sort of way.
And now when we, as we head to the break in about 5 minutes, biohacking, let's start with the definition of what that actually means, because we hear it more and more today, but I think the definitions are different, and people also interpret biohacking differently. So as we talk about the subject tonight, and of course the book, what is your definition of biohacking?
So my definition is basically optimizing your mind, body, and soul. Whether that be your outer environment or whether that be your physiology. It's really self-exploration, to figuring out ways to become optimized. Yeah.
And is the process itself, is it internal? Is it mental? Is it going down a checklist and drawing lines through things? What is it?
You know what, Jimmy? It's all of those things. It's all of those things. It's really diving into your own internal process, really figuring out, your own trauma that you've been through, looking at that trauma. And I'm not speaking about, even mental trauma. I'm talking about physical trauma. Your body holds on to everything. So it's a matter of really diving deep within, but yet also changing your outside environment. We are surrounded by toxicity everywhere. We're getting poisoned by our water. Even our air is not as clean as it used to be. So it's really fixing your outer environment and, doing the shadow work on the inside, and then, really, really just optimizing your physical body, whether that be taking supplements or using these different technologies to really help your body. And then also it's energetic, it's energy work, so I do a lot of energy work as well. So it's everything.
Now, why is it, Elizabeth, here's the basic. Why is it so hard to do the right thing? Why is it so easy to do the wrong thing? Doing the wrong thing is easy and a lot of times fun. Mm-hmm. Doing the right thing is difficult and maybe not as much fun. Right? Why is it so hard to do the right thing?
Trauma. I really think it's people's trauma. Trauma really affects you, and everybody. You cannot walk through this life unscathed. Even coming through your mother's birth canal as a baby is trauma. And, you would be surprised at how much your cells remember. You could have had a trauma when you were 2 years old. Let's say you had a sister and she stomped on your arm or something. That could be a major trauma that could be affecting not only your physical body, but your mental health as well in the future. You really just don't know how much you have stuck in you until you start to look. And, people, it's a scary thing to do that. And so what trauma does to you is it really makes you want to search for any way to feel anything but yourself soberly, right? To feel any way but, having time alone, time within, it really, really just, it makes you want to distract yourself away from everything internal. And so, that's why people use mechanisms to self-soothe. I talk about this all the time. It's,
right.
Shopping, food, drugs, sex, it could be anything. Anything
to put a Band-Aid on it so you just forget about it and bury it and act like everything's okay and it never happened.
Right. Exactly. And you know what? People don't even know it's there sometimes, but when you have a whole bunch of trauma, you have no space within your mind. You have no space. There's no space between stimulus and response. So people with a ton of trauma are very, very reactive. they don't really think before they act. Their emotion takes hold of them, and they're not in control. They're really not in control. That's why, people get addicted to different things, different stimulus. They get addicted because they, trying to just feel anything but normal, but themselves.
And how, I've just got 60 seconds, Elizabeth. We'll pick it up when we come back. But how long is the process? Because today, it's an instant world that we live in. There's an app for that, man. There's an app for biohacking. You'll be done tonight, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that kind of process, is it?
No, it's lifelong. I'm still growing, I'm still growing. This is a lifestyle. Okay.
And that is the one thing that I think freaks people out. Whether it's a diet, right? Well, how long can I lose all this weight in 72 hours? No, it takes 6 months. Mm-hmm. Well, there goes that plan, right? It's just out the window. Everything is so instant today, but this is a lifelong process. But you can start to see things pretty quickly if you just apply it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, just like the first time I brain trained, I felt different right away. Right. I want to look into this brain training thing. That's pretty interesting. This is Fade to Black. Let's take our first break, and we have Elisabeth Hoekstra with us tonight. It's all first-time guests all week long. Tonight, Elizabeth. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels. Wednesday night, Sean Cahill. Thursday is Fader night. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. More with Elizabeth right after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, The X.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right. 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hi, Race Hobbs with the X. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you have an interest in unexplained phenomena like ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs. And by now, you know that we have our own X blog, the UnX newsletter, and the UnX magazine quarterly. But most of you don't know that we have started our very own paranormal conference. And this year, for safety, this 2-day XCon will be virtual, so you can attend from the comfort of your home. XCon presenters include Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, Margie Kay and Preston Dennett, Lisa Martin and Wayne Lawrence, Lee Spiegel, Debbie Zagelmeyer, Dan Terry, Kate Grabowski, and Ray Hernandez. There will also be a live paranormal investigation by the Riverside, Iowa Paranormal Team. So come hang out with us in the safety of home as we set out to explain the unexplained Friday, May 13th and Saturday the 14th, 2022. And tickets are on sale now. Go to unxnetwork.com. That's unxnetwork.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What a great week we've got here coming up on Fade to Black. All first-time guests again after 2,000 shows. We still pull this off. I love it, and I love sharing knowledge. Elisabeth Hoekstra is with us tonight. Her new book is called The Recipe to Elevated Consciousness. We've got the links for the book up throughout social media. You can go to ElisabethHoekstra.com and ForbiddenKnowledge.tv as well. And now, Elizabeth, I have the book, and thank you. Lots of detail in this book, an impossible thing to go through on the show. But I wanted to talk about the recipe and the processes for this. And I have a couple of comments. And reading the book, and it's a great read, by the way. Well done. This is my opinion, and then we're going to start with the beginning of the recipe.
Okay.
I always suggest this. It's my own experience. I wrote about this in Billy's book as well. You need to surround yourself with the correct people, right? Yes. You need to surround yourself with winners and people that glow, right?
Yes. Yes.
and without that, right, because anything else is going to hold you back.
Right.
And that is that. I think that is such a key to biohacking your life, is like, look around you, take a hard look, and who is negative and who is holding you back. You need to cut that, whatever it is. Yes. Right? Is that one of the first steps?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, the people who you're around, the person that you're most around, your physiology actually changes depending on who you're around, depending on their moods, the stress factors. I mean, it literally affects the hormones that are released from your own body. So if you're around people that are very negative all the time, you will actually fall into that. You are actually the 5 people that you surround yourself with. That is a correct and true statement. You share microbes, gut microbes with those people. Like it's a literal proven science fact. I mean, so yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're surrounded by people that are negative, I mean, energy vampires, that's one of my chapters in the book.
Yes.
Energy vampires. They will literally pull you down, hold you down. They'll just, it's like having chains when you're trying to achieve your goals. You never get there because, energetically their negativity is on you. So now you have negative energy in your, in your biofield. And then also, your physical body, things change within your physical body when you're around negativity, and then you run the risk of becoming addicted to that negative feeling in your physical body and not even know about it, addicted to these different hormones. Now you're going to be searching for things that are negative because your physical body is searching for that cortisol or searching for that adrenaline, it's like, so, I mean, absolutely, I would say that that's probably one of the main biohacks. Absolutely.
Now, and you can back off the microphone maybe about an inch. Is this another element to this is social media.
Yeah.
You've got negative people in your social media bubble, and that is a very direct energy vampire.
Yeah.
Where you just need to stop and take a look what's going on and stop being in denial and hit the block button, right? Mm-hmm. Hit the unfriend button, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, every time. And that goes into saying even negative comments, negative people. It's just every time you see something like that, you're affecting your body. You know, not only are you affecting your mental health, but you're affecting your body. You're getting hits of, your body's going into a stress state when you read something negative, or mine does, You have to be a different type of person. I mean, people can say, it doesn't affect me at all, but a little bit, it does. It always does. It has to. The brain is recording these things. So yeah. I mean, it's social media has really caused some crazy, it's just times have changed. I mean, I think from 2011 till now, there's been an increase of 276% of girls that are ages 13 through 17 that suicide rates have gone up 276%. I think that's the percentage. I looked this up maybe three years ago because I wanted to see the stats on this. I mean, it's just, suicide has gone up drastically for young girls,
Yeah, when I block somebody on social media, right? Okay. And it's done for a reason. You don't get blocked because you're cool. Right? Okay. It's really the truth. And I'll get the email. Man, why did you block me on social media? And I sometimes I'll send an email back. This is why. Right now. This is why. This negative email. There you go. There's your answer. And no, you're not going to get unblocked.
Right.
It's part of the process, isn't it? Not to have negativity around you. You're never going to eliminate it completely, but you need to take those first steps.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I was actually just on a live and there was someone that was very, very negative in there. Not to say that they were, attacking, they weren't attacking us or anything, but they were just, every single comment, it was like, how could you live your best life when people are starving? And, there's a whole war, there's, all these things, but you know what? No amount of negativity will make anything better. Right. So, if I'm sitting over here and I'm dreading on all of the issues in the world, how am I helping anybody? I'm not helping.
Right. Yeah. Now let's go with the recipe. There's always the starting stages. So all of this, of course, is in the book, but when is somebody ready for a biohack, and what are the first steps?
Well, you know what? I think people are on the journey. So really it's a matter of if you want to start, it's if you want to try these things to feel better, that's why I have, I attached research links to the modalities in my book, because I never like to tell people to just follow what someone says, right? Do your own research, come to your own conclusion. That's so much more powerful, because the mind is a very powerful thing. So if I'm saying all this stuff about biohacking and you're just like, oh, that's not for me, I don't, don't even do it, because it probably, there are certain things in this book that they've done double-blind studies on. So there is actual things that will help you no matter what, if you believe it or not. But I'm saying, it's really a lifestyle. And if you really want to achieve your most optimal state, it's a whole lifestyle. You got to just dive right in. And, if people want to start addressing their trauma, I would just say, just try a couple things out of the book. How did I start? I started with the brain training, but that's not very normal. For people to really, experience or just come across that in their lifetime. But there are things in my book, like, let's say EFT, emotional freedom technique, right? Tapping. You can actually do that. Try it for 5 minutes. Just, see if it feels better. See if you feel better. See if it made a positive change in your life.
Let's stop right there. What is EFT?
EFT is the emotional freedom technique. It's a form of tapping. So you tap on different meridians of your body, and it uses actually Chinese medicine, but also it uses Western medicine as well, because you're affirming things when you're tapping on these certain meridians in your body. So I think that there's 9 points. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 9 points. And you tap on these points on your body, and you repeat different affirmations, or you repeat different things. And honestly, it reprograms your emotional response to certain things. So you can literally clear trauma with EFT. You can help cravings with EFT. It really, really can affect, it just kind of rewires you. It rewires your brain, and it rewires your nervous system to react differently to things.
Okay, let's go through those tapping points again. I got to watch it. That wasn't what I expected, young lady. Okay, so first one is, I'm going to do it for the camera, is
the top of your head. Yep.
Right, that's 1, 2.
And then you do right in the corner of your eyebrow, right here.
Corner of the eyebrow is 2, okay.
And then you do the outer corner of your eyebrow.
3, right.
3, and then right under your pupil.
4.
And then right under your nose.
5.
Right under your lip.
6.
And then make a fist like this, and you do on your collarbones here.
Right on the neck, okay.
Yep.
7.
Underneath your armpit.
8.
8, and then your karate chop point here. 9.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
that alone.
Wait, so I love it. So when you're alone, right? You're going through. You're doing this.
Yes.
Have you ever been caught?
You know what? I'll do it in public, because I honestly don't care.
Right. Now I'll know if I see anybody doing that. But I read about this, and I thought that's incredible. I'm okay. So when you're going, I love this. So let's say you're on number 1, right? Okay, everybody can hear me tapping. Just going through my headphones. What are you affirming here? What would you be doing?
So you basically set yourself up. So let's say you're having a very stressful day of work, and you just want to feel better. Okay, so you could say, I am having a very, very stressful day at work today. So you have to talk about the problem,
right?
Because something about your brain hears the words too, and your body reacts differently. So you speak it out loud, you speak the problem out loud, but then you say after that, and you continue to tap on all these places. You probably tap about maybe 10 times on each point.
Right.
And you're saying to yourself, I really, really, really am super stressed out today. And I'm so stressed out because people are really, really annoying me today. But I still love and deeply accept myself. So you affirm yourself, but you speak your problem, but then you reaffirm yourself and you speak your problem.
I just got to watch you do that. And so you are very practiced in this. If the audience was seeing what I was seeing, she right and speak. I'm stressed out today, and wow. So that is and how does one feel after they armpit, right? You've gone through the cycle. Right, you've just karate chopped, right? and is it like, wow, okay, now I can get through the afternoon?
Yeah, it really, really makes a really big difference. It shifts your body and your nervous system. Let's say your nervous system is in sympathetic, which means you're in fight or flight. So you're, you're real just hyped up and anxious. So it will take your body from sympathetic, your nervous system, and it will shift you back into parasympathetic, which is rest and digest, relax, peace, So you'll feel that shift. Honestly, I've used EFT to deal with certain traumatic memories that I've had. I've used EFT to help with different triggers and my reaction to things. I even used EFT for negative comments. I was having an issue with negative comments a couple months back. And, they were really affecting me. So I'm like, why are these affecting me so deeply? I was trying to figure out any way possible to try to feel better, and I found that EFT really helped me with that. So it really did.
So the post, right? Whatever, right? Right. Right into the, I love that. Yes. I absolutely love that. Okay. This is learning something. The audience right there, if they walk away from something with this show, is that right there. I find that incredible. Let's go to the next step down the recipe. When you're talking to somebody about this, or of course reading the book, what is the next step?
So I just picked up a random modality that I know that it's free, number one. So EFT is free and easy for people to just pick up and do.
Right.
There's no specific order of things. It's really just what you want to kind of dive into.
Sure.
Honestly, I would suggest for everybody, and I say this on every single show I've ever done, grounding, earthing is so massively important, and everybody should be grounded. Everybody. Back in the late 1960s, early 1970s, they invented synthetic material and they slapped it on shoes, rubber, right? Which completely disconnected us from the earth. The earth has an abundance of electrons all over the surface of it, which we used to be directly, in contact with, or we would have shoes or, something on our feet that would conduct these electrons into our bodies until rubber got slapped on shoes. So if you actually look at a graph of shoe sales from the 1970s until now, diabetes and autoimmune disease, they go up on the same scale, the exact same scale, which is it's wild. But if you think about it, it's impossible to have chronic inflammation in your body when you're grounded, right? So it doesn't surprise me that autoimmune disease has shot up, that diabetes has shot up, because those all stem from inflammation. So, grounding is so deeply important for people to do.
Now I'm going to do a basic explanation for everybody what grounding is. Well, first off, it's called barefoot. Okay. All right. Socks are okay. That'll work. But in the professional audio and video world, you have a studio like this one that I'm sitting in, you have to have it grounded. And I didn't understand what that was. Now, a basic for you, when you see a 3-prong plug, right, that you plug in the wall, that third plug, the round one, that's the ground. That goes to the earth. In some societies in the world, instead of it called the grounding plug, it's called earthing. It's called the earth. So all studios are grounded. So you take this, not from plugging into the wall. You have, check this out, Elizabeth. You have a grounding rod, and that's outside, and that gets pounded into the ground. It's 4 feet long. And then you have a cable that comes out of that goes to the earth, the ground for the studio, so you are grounded. That is the exact same process that we are talking about here.
Yes.
Except it's us, and you need to ground yourself electromagnetically, electronically back to the earth. That's it. This is a principle of everything on this planet, and grounding yourself is so, so important.
Yes, yes. We're bioelectric beings, you know. It's just a fractal. All homes now are grounded. They're all grounded.
They're all grounded. Okay, so check this out. You know when you shock yourself, right? Okay, you go through, pop, you just grounded yourself. That's another example of that. I am barefoot, right? I'm wearing socks in the studio. I'm grounded. And you need to do that. Take your socks off and run around in the front yard. What are your processes for grounding?
So I'm kind of crazy though. So I have a grounded sheet. I have a grounded blanket. I have a grounded pillowcase. I have grounded patches, and I wear my patches every single night. I have a grounded laptop pad, which I have my laptop on and my hands on right now. I have a grounded mat where my feet touch the ground when I'm at my desk.
Yep.
I mean, I'm grounded all the time. So we actually partnered, Forbidden Knowledge. We partnered with Clint Ober, the man that actually rediscovered grounding in 1999, I believe it was. And so we partnered with his company, and his company provides, different products that you can actually plug into the ground outlet of your home. Make sure that the outlet is grounded properly first.
Right.
And then, you can use these products on the inside of your home. So, I would suggest to everybody, get, a grounded bed sheet. You sleep on it. And people ask me, how long should I ground for?
Every day.
All the time.
Every day. All day long. When you're inside your home, you can't necessarily be barefoot at the shopping mall. They have a sign right there that says no shirt, no shoes, no service, right? Okay. So anyway, but when you're in your home, the first chance you get, it's one of the things, barefoot, just shoes off. And the grounding process is all day long, and you should do it as much as you can.
Yes. Yeah. It's so, so, so important. And honestly, I've done probably over 65, 70 different holistic modalities, holistic therapies, alternative medicine. I've tried it all, right? And when I first grounded, and I got the product, so I put this patch on my stomach, on my solar plexus actually, and also the biggest lymph node in your body also sits there. So I put a patch on there, and I waited about 5 minutes. And I took the deepest breath that I've ever taken in my entire life. And I tripped out. I was like, what is this?
And here's the other thing. And I'm talking about my own, everybody listen to me. This is my own personal experience. This was going on in my life way before I met Elizabeth, is that grounding builds up inside of you and everything else around you. It's building up all day long, and you need to get it released. It's got to go back into the earth. You need to unground yourself. It builds up. It doesn't just go away in the morning and you're cool for the rest of the day. No, it builds back up. If you want an example of that, is when somebody walks up to you and shocks you, right? Right? That's a buildup of electrostatic energy in your body. This is just the way the universe works.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, it's crazy now with Wi-Fi, 5G. I mean, we walk around with a positive charge now. You know, we're bioelectric beings. We suck up all of this frequency, all of this energy. You know?
Cell phones.
Exactly. So now we desperately need to ground. Desperately. I mean, we have an overabundance of free radicals in our bodies, right? And, you know, free radicals are good in some instances, but when you have too many of them, it's awful for you. It creates cytokine storms, inflammation, and that's where you get your autoimmune disease. You know, that's where autoimmune disease starts. So actually, neutralizes.
Right. You dropped out. Actually,
when you ground, it neutralizes your body, right? It neutralizes all those free radicals. So free radicals, for anyone that doesn't know, is an atom in your body that's missing an electron. So it's basically searching for any other, you know, molecule that it can attach to,
right,
you know, to be able to get that electron. So, you know, when you ground, you're getting an abundance of electrons flooding into your system. Now your positive charge goes down, you neutralize. And now your body and all the cells and all have the proper amount of electrons. And now everything inside you is functioning properly, you know?
To EFT and grounding in one segment, that is a whole lot of learn. I'm going to say for most of our audience tonight, this is brand new information. And
wow.
It's so funny when... I'm not going to say this in a negative sense, but people use the word grounded. They have no clue what they're saying. None. Yeah. Man, you know, you've got to get grounded. Dude, you don't even know what you're saying. I'm so grounded today. Yeah. Right? It's just like this popular thing to say.
I know.
Now you know what grounding is. It's not about finding your inner self. Oh, no, I'm so grounded. No, this is a physiological, real situation that we're talking about that everything on this planet deals with. And like I said, that third plug on that you plug in the wall, that's grounding. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about. Elizabeth, what a great start to the show. Let's take a break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Elisabeth Hoekstra is here. We're talking about her new best-selling book, The Recipe to Elevated Consciousness. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Elizabeth when we come back. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church. Jason Martell's book, Knowledge Apocalypse 10-Year Anniversary Edition, is now available. Most ancient cultures speak of a time when their gods visited them. They never say their gods came from across the ocean or from the mountains. They always came down from the skies. Was ancient man visited by gods or extraterrestrials? We have not been told the full truth about our human past. There was a time when all the ancient cultures lived amongst beings they considered their gods. The search for truth leads us down the path of learning where the ETs might come from and why they are here. To understand some of these advanced topics and learn the truth about human origins, buy the new book from Jason Martell, Knowledge Apocalypse, now in its 10-year anniversary edition, available on Amazon.com by clicking on the banners over on our site, or simply visit JasonMartell.com. That's JasonMartell.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. First time guest week here on Fade to Black. Tonight, Elizabeth Hoekstra. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels is here. Wednesday night, Sean Cahill. What a great week we've got coming up. And tonight, it's Elizabeth Hoekstra. And Elizabeth, so the chat room right now, you know what they're talking about? Best way to shock your friends. It's like, oh, man, I love it. I love it. And now let's move into another direction. And one thing that I think is, besides relationships, everybody wants to figure out a way to biohack your relationship into something else. But let's talk about jobs and career. One of the most difficult, areas to focus on. But how do you biohack your career? How do you change direction?
Oh man, that's a toughie. Let's see here. I was a chef for 5 years and I hated it. I loved creating beautiful pastries. And, I loved the creation of it, but working in the industry was awful. So for me, during that time, I was doing actually a lot of biohacking because I needed to. I was so stressed out. I was so stressed. So what I would do is I would schedule flotation therapy for myself after work a couple times a week. Flotation therapy is becoming very popular, actually. So I'm actually really happy to see, float places pop up all over the country. So, people can really look into this. It's probably at a city near them. But flotation therapy is basically you dissolve about 1,500 pounds of Epsom salt of magnesium into about a foot of water. And your body is actually less dense than that. So you float effortlessly And usually they make the float water the same temperature as your skin. So it really feels like you're just, I don't know, laying in abyss, you're really,
weightless.
Really
you're weightless. You're weightless. Yes. You're weightless. You're floating, literally. This weekend, man, I was so jealous. So I'm at this party Saturday night. This a very nice home, like 8 of yours. Okay, so picture that, like 8 of mine, right? Okay, like stupid town. But anyway, so down, I go down. There's there's an indoor pool, not like a little indoor, like a pool, right? Okay, but that was all great. But right next to that, the owner of the house, his name's Brandon, great guy. Hello, Brandon. I hope you're listening tonight. He goes, yeah, the pool's great, but check out what I just got. I got a flotation tank.
Oh, man, that sounds
yeah. And I'm looking, I'm like, dude, he goes, man, I just got it. We're getting, it was empty. I was ready, man. I was going to just I was going to jump in that thing. But yeah, I would love to have a flotation tank. Can you imagine to be able to have something like that in your home and you could just do it like every day?
I'm going to. Literally, that's top of everything. I'm literally going to put one of those in my house. I'm going to put a bunch of other different modalities in my house as well. I mean, just the magnesium alone. Most American people are deficient in magnesium. So you get magnesium transdermally through just even the salt water. That will lower your stress levels, lower your depression levels. I mean, really, really just help you be way less stressed. I mean, and then let's not talk about sensory deprivation,
That's
like
right.
I was talking about earlier.
Right.
So filled up with stimulus.
And this is not an expensive, putting a flotation tank in your house. Well, that's a extravagance. Okay. Yeah. I get that. But a flotation tank center near you, this is inexpensive. And you can just go and just do it. And your first time, you get it. And this is not some crazy, thing that's going to kill you. No, it's actually very inexpensive. And more than likely, depending on where you live, you've got a flotation tank center around you somewhere. And you need to go and at least go through the deprivation of gravity. And see where, because this is, and I'm sure this is your main point, you are disconnected suddenly from stress, body stress, and then mental stress has gone away, and your brain works in another way that you don't experience in the real world, right? And suddenly, right? And that's what the flotation tanks do for you.
Yeah. It basically pushes your brain into theta. Theta is like, the brain wave where you experience right before you fall asleep, right when you're falling asleep. You can actually reprogram your subconscious mind in the float tank. I've astral traveled in the float tank. I mean, every time I float, I feel like I'm standing up, which is really odd. You lay backwards, but I literally feel like I'm standing up by the end of my float always. So you can have some really, really crazy experiences in the float tank. One time I was floating and I went in with an intention. Me and one of my friends actually did this to find out the time of my birth. Right. And so she meditated on it. Yes. And then I went into the float tank and I meditated on it. And we came up with literally almost the exact same time. She said, if it was between 2 and 4 a.m. And I was like, I got 2:47 a.m. So crazy.
Was it correct, by the way?
I don't know, but I deeply feel like it was.
Right.
I mean, I've done regression work and experienced my birth before. So I remember coming out of the womb and it was dark outside. It was completely black outside. So I do remember that from doing regression work. So I think I got it right, honestly.
Now, when you, I want to jump forward a little bit, but when you do your flotation, are you doing it in total silence?
Yes, I do. Because I mean, the whole point of it is sensory deprivation.
Right.
You know, you don't have this, like you were saying, the stress on your body, the stress of, we walk around every single day with light, even if the light isn't bright, that's stimulus. We listen to these sounds, even if a car is just driving by, that's still stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in the float tank, to really, really get the full benefit, in my opinion, you really have to shut it all down, and really just listen to what's going on within you. Some stuff may come up that, wow, you don't even know is there because you're distracted all the time because of all the stuff going on around us. So, I mean, the point in my mind of flotation therapy is really just to relax and, really, really dive deep internally,
Now, okay, so let's circle back to pastries. Okay, so you're going through these processes. You're stressed out, sous chef. By the way, I can't wait to have you make pastries for me. I bet you they're unbelievable. But so then what happened with that side of your career?
So honestly, the only thing that probably got me through that career was flotation therapy, because it literally would lower my stress levels enough to be able to go back to work and do it all over again. If I wasn't floating once a week during that time, I probably would have gone crazy, to be honest. To finally get the guts to leave that job, to dive into the scary arena. When I got my job as a chef, I finally had found some sort of structure, which is not what I had during the entertainment business. It was all over the place. I didn't get a job. So when I became a chef, it became structure for me. And, that was my comfortability at the time. So it was terrifying for me to leave that, which is why I was stuck in it for so long, even though I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, the guts to walk away from that job, that's a biohack in itself.
And when you hit that crossroads, was there a chasing of bliss? Was there something that you wanted to do that, because you were walking away from I don't want to say hospitality, but restaurant cooking, right? Mm-hmm. That side of things. Was there something that you wanted to do that you then started to focus on?
Yeah. Well, actually, during the last probably year that I was actually working as a chef, I was going to school to become a real estate agent, because my relationship at the time, he was a flipper. So he flipped homes and he owned a bunch of property. So I was trying to get my license to be able to save the commission, to be able to save commission for the flips. And I ended up getting my license, and I got a deal right away, and I loved it. So really, I just, after I stayed, that's kind of when I got the fully.
Okay, you dropped out again. Okay, so you said, actually, when I started real estate, go ahead and finish that sentence.
When I started real estate, that's when I really left the culinary industry, because I had during when I was cooking. So, getting my license really, really gave me the guts to leave the culinary industry. So, and
those are, that's like apples and oranges, right?
I know.
Literally, right? Speaking of the food industry, but to go into real estate, if this suddenly you're in something that you enjoy, how does that change your perspective on life and moving forward in the biohack to be happy internally?
Yeah, you know what? I was just, it was like almost just crossing into a new life almost.
Oh man. Okay. I'm sorry for the dropouts, everybody. Hey, Elizabeth, yes. I'm going to do a reset. Let me jump to a break. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do a hard reset on our connection here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Elizabeth when we come back, but this is too important to me. and I need to have the flow. So we'll reset everything. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal God on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, The X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard, available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Elisabeth Hoekstra is with us. I just did a quick reset. And Biohacking Your Life. And we're talking about her new best-selling book. It's called The Recipe to Elevated Consciousness. And here's the deal. Elisabeth, I'm not sure if you're aware of this today, but earlier today, like Apple went down, right? Apple, right? And there's a lot of issues that are going on around the world, not only with the internet, but it's satellites, it's solar flares. There are things that are happening. So it just may not even be the connection between you and us. This is something that is way beyond our control. And maybe you and I didn't effectively ground, before the show. So, but I want to mention this before we move on. I'm excited that you and I are going to be able to hang out again very soon because we've got the world premiere red carpet of a new movie that you and I have been working on. And it's The Black Knight Satellite with Billy, and the premiere is going to go down in Detroit, right?
Yes, Metro Detroit, Michigan. So it will be at a beautiful theater. The red carpet will be rolled out for everybody. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be a great event, So we'll air the movie first, and then, Billy will probably go up and answer questions about the documentary and everything, and it'll be awesome. We'll have most of the cast there. I sent out an email today, so I'm finding out now that, a lot of the cast is confirmed and will be coming. So I'm really, really thrilled. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event.
I just want pastry. I'm just letting you know. I expect pastry. I know. I just know you, and I know that this is going to be spectacular, man. And
Absolutely.
It is, yeah. Man,
what I'm excited for, though, Jimmy?
What's that?
I'm excited for Egypt.
Oh, yeah. We're going to Egypt in October, right?
Yep, October 5th through the 12th. Yep, a 7-day tour.
My birthday.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Egypt with Billy and Elizabeth on my birthday, October 10th.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Me and Billy actually went last year during his birthday. He had his birthday on the Nile.
You know what? I was going to say fly on the wall, but no, maybe not. Maybe I didn't want to see that. But yeah, we're going to be in Egypt for my birthday this October, and I cannot wait. You guys have been there many times. It's the basis of so much of your research. This is my first trip to Egypt. And
seriously?
Yeah, and Billy and I have been planning this for years that, my first trip was going to be with Billy, and, everything else just came and ran interference, for the last couple of years. But finally, we've got this, and we're all going in October. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really amazing. We have so much planned. Every single day we'll be doing something else. There's a 4-day Nile cruise that will be a forbidden cruise, so we'll have all of our people, and we'll have a nice little party on the beautiful cruise ship. And, we'll be staying at these really amazing places. I mean, the experience is just something else. The energy over there is different.
Now, and it's okay. This is kind of strange to say, but grounding in Egypt, that's got to be one of the most dynamic things that you can go through, right? To ground in Egypt, to go through these sacred places and temples and sites and the energy that is there, and grounding in Egypt, that's just got to be off the hook, right?
Yeah, well, what's crazy, this is so crazy, Jimmy. So I used to work at a holistic place, and it had different modalities. And it had this modality called the magnosphere, right? And this magnosphere is a biohacking tool. It's 2 very, very large copper rings, and you sit in the center of these rings, and it lends you a very low magnetic frequency.
Okay.
What that frequency does is it stimulates your vagus nerve. When your vagus nerve is stimulated, if you're in high sympathetic or you're in, fight or flight, it will bring you back into parasympathetic rest and digest. So it'll down regulate you and just really, really you'll feel just a magnetic, almost just wave through your body, right? It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. So when I was in Egypt, in specific parts of Egypt, I felt that feeling in my body of the magnetic waves, especially in Saqqara. We were going through these tunnels with these huge granite, magnetized granite tombs. And, in those tunnels, feeling of that magnetic wave through my body, I felt it the entire time we were down those tunnels. So
now I've watched the videos, and and I've teased Billy. You know this. I've teased Billy about this. Claustrophobic, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember you telling me, I'm tiny. I can go through. Billy's not tiny.
I know.
No, he's a big guy, and I'm in between you and Billy, size wise. But you're just going through that stuff like it's nothing. You're okay. Did you feel claustrophobic? I asked you this privately, but just right now in front of everybody, are you okay with that?
Yeah. I was never really claustrophobic at all. So, I can just climb through areas. I'll crawl through places. I love it.
Well, when we go, we're going to FaceTime. I'll be outside, and you can just show me what's going on in there. Now, let's get back to where we were. Biohacking your career. Now, so you go, and I like the sleep deprivation, calming your nerves, but it also helps you make a decision going, I'm having to get into this float tank because of the stress of my day. Mm-hmm. Well, that's only putting a Band-Aid on the problem. You've got to take control and take initiative, and you did just that, right? Well, there's a fear factor that most people have because they're comfortable in dealing with the issues, so they don't have to go and maybe change careers or do what they want. They're in the comfort zone and they deal with the stress and they don't take initiative, right? But you did.
Yeah, I've just, I've found that on the other side of fear is something great, usually. So anytime I'm scared of anything, I like to jump in and dive right into the fear. I mean, I used to have this fear of public speaking, and now I'm going to speak at conferences, because I'm terrified. But I know that on the other side of my fear is greatness. So, I've always found that, fear is resistance, and resistance creates growth.
So, how do, I understand facing your fear, but for those out there that need to hear this, that know that there's something inside that is missing that will make them happy, and I'm talking about a career, how do you overcome it and initiate the change? How do you biohack that?
Well, I mean, I think it's really a mix of a lot of things. Like I was talking about trauma earlier, being able to deal with your trauma really eliminates a lot of fear within your mind and body. So, I mean, when you do that, you really feel almost so powerful that you can really take on the world. And that's really, where I stand now. And after doing all of the work on myself, I mean, I really, really stand in my own power. So I'm not really afraid of the fear. It kind of interests me now. Like I said, I'm terrified to speak in front of a whole bunch of people, but I'm going to go do it because I'm intrigued. Like, this is scary. Like, I'm intrigued. So I think that's a lot of that stems from me doing my own work, though, working my trauma out of my mind and body,
There is a release that anybody that has ever quit a job, the feeling that you have is great. It's an extraordinary, you took the chance, right? You think about it every day, man, I'm going to quit tomorrow, but you don't, right? You don't. But at one point you do. And the fear of the great unknown about your next step in life, maybe you've got another job lined up, but there is a release that you have that your body goes through when you do finally take the step, right? And that's the feeling that you want as you go through life. That feeling, we've all had it. Just do that and repeat it because it's a great feeling when you initiate change.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even address that, Jimmy, and that's so important. When I quit, it was like chains broke off of me, you know? It was like the stress was gone. I was like, I just had to do it. So it feels great. It felt great because it wasn't for me. It was not for me. When you're going to work and you're dreading going to work every day, it's not for you. You know, it's not.
And now, and let's talk about the other thing, right? Which is when I do, and I've always found this so interesting. When I do a show, when I have somebody do readings, tarot cards and Ouija boards, and we're doing all this stuff on the air, 2 questions come in. There's some that are, a little different. 2 questions, right? 1, how do I change my career? Mm-hmm. That's number 1. But the main question, what's up with my love life? Mm-hmm. I need a change. What's up with my relationship? Mm-hmm. Right? Okay. How do we do this? Mm-hmm. Biohacking not only your relationship, but maybe your love life in general. Maybe you're in a relationship that you enjoy, but then how do you biohack your relationship and improve it? Right? Mm-hmm. So let's biohack your love life first. Okay. You're in something that is toxic, right? Mm-hmm. And you're stuck. Okay. And I love it because I get the feminine version of this. If a man's going to give a different response, but how do you biohack your way out of a relationship?
Man, I mean that's work that you do on yourself. On your get the strength to actually be able to leave. I was in a lot of really terrible relationships. Well, not a lot, but I was in a couple really, really awful ones. But that was because I had no love for myself. I had no self-love. I have no self-esteem. So I let these people just treat me like the bottom of their shoes. I let these people treat me like dirt because I had no confidence in myself. I had no love for myself. So love me properly, right? So, I mean, really doing my work and doing my shadow work and finding love for self and building my self-esteem and my confidence, that really, really changed my entire perspective on, love and relationships. And honestly, energetically, you attract what you are, right? You really attract just a mirror of what you are. So, for me, I was in a really relationship and we broke up finally. About a year and a half off of relationships, off anything romantic, and I really dove into myself and did work on myself during that time. I filled myself up. I always felt like I had a void in my gut my whole life, and I would try to fill it up with drugs and alcohol, but really that void was love for self. I had none of it, right? So during that year and a half, I really did the deep work and filled myself up with love. And, now I'm in a great relationship. I attracted somebody that is a great, great match for me. And, and it's a respectful, conscious relationship, so.
Okay. So, but here's the crucial thing. So you make the conscious decision to break the chains of your current relationship, whatever it is, and you work on yourself. Okay, that's great too as well. But now you need, the bees to honey situation, and you need to biohack yourself into the direction of somebody that is more compatible with you, that's going to make you happy. How do you do that? You didn't bump into Billy just by chance. That is something that. So how do you go through that process? I'm very interested in this right now, by the way.
No, where it's Jimmy, it goes back to the work on self. Okay. I mean, honestly, it's so random. Like, he lives in Florida. I live in Michigan. I mean, it's just, how did this even happen? But it was energetically meant to happen because, it's divine. That was my destiny. It's my path, and honestly, I mean, I honestly really filled myself up with love. I mean, I was just so broken after my last relationship that I couldn't love myself. So how could I ever expect, anyone to love me, and I had to figure out who I was, really create my own boundaries and really start protecting myself, honestly, because I met Billy during the pandemic and it was so random, it was so random. So, I mean, energetically, you will attract the person that's meant for you. Once you do the work on yourself, once you really figure yourself out, once you really build your self-love up, because then, another person can come in and treat you the way you treat yourself. Because honestly, if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna, people are going to treat you crappy. That's how you treat yourself. But the minute you start loving on yourself, you won't let anyone disrespect you or treat you anything less than how you deserve to be treated. And honestly, I've done the work. I know the way I'm supposed to be loved because I love myself. And therefore, I found a match that loves me deeply in the way that I should be loved. It's really work on self. Honestly, it is.
Now, here we are, at the end of this 2-year nightmare, this pandemic, and everything else that's going on in the world right now. There's other things externally that are messing with us, certainly with our emotions and energy levels. But this is also an opportunity at the end of this drama, this 2 years of craziness that affected the entire planet. This is the opportunity right now to biohack. Right now, if you are going to do something for yourself, it's today, right? It's not tomorrow. It's right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would absolutely agree with you. It's just the amount of stress that is in the world today is crazy. 90% of people right now in America, at least, are walking around in fight or flight. That means that your nervous system is overactive, and it actually, your physiology changes. Your frontal cortex, your lobe of your brain, your thinking part, right? Your logic. It actually, the blood vessels constrict, and then it rushes to your hindbrain, your reactive brain, and it goes your blood from your organs, and they go out to your peripheral, to be able to run and get away from the threat.
Right.
But see, people are stuck. They're stuck in fight or flight, which is awful for your system, awful for your body. So, I mean, biohacking really helps you, down-regulate. It helps you return to homeostasis, to where you can actually feel peace again, and just, I mean, there's just way too much stress in the world today, and it's manifesting all over this earth, all over the planet. So, I mean, if more people would start biohacking, it would show up in the collective, it would become a more beautiful place on this earth.
The processes for that to get both the front and back of your head cooperating, which does absolutely goes to your fingertips after that, right? It goes to all of your extremes. How do we start that day to day without going back to like EFT, right? I get that, but how can we, in the comfort of our own home, get our brain to start back in sync, to get away from fight or flight?
So I would tell people to think about right before they go to sleep at night. You never want to go to sleep thinking about something negative. So honestly, before I go to sleep every night, I think about 5 things that I'm grateful for, and I focus on them, and I focus until I fall asleep. and I'll do the exact same things in the morning, right? You know, we have a bad habit of grabbing our phones and immediately when we wake up. Please don't give your brain a break, okay? When you wake up, you know, think about 5 things that you're grateful for. If you have the energy, get up and write down 5 things that you're grateful for. That will start changing your neural pathways and creating different neural pathways. And it will make you a more grateful person. Start paying attention to the things that you have instead of paying attention to the things that you don't have. You know, really, really pay attention to your thoughts too. I mean, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. So really, really just, I mean, try to meditate, you know, take 5 minutes. Everybody has 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes, sit quietly and just see what's going on with your thoughts, because your thoughts run you if you don't run them. So, you know, you become the master of your own thoughts. So become that observer, and that, you know, just creates more awareness, more consciousness and more presence. And when you're present, you know, that's bliss. That's euphoria. We're so thinking about things in the past or thinking about what we have to do. You know, we're hardly ever present anymore. So, you know, in the present moment, the only moment that is actually real, that is actually now, right? I mean, that's where you will find true happiness is now, right now. So.
Okay. I practice everything that you just said. And for the audience right now going, oh, stop. Okay, this is what I do. And the evidence is right out there. You can go and look for it. But check this out. After this show is done, you don't see me posting. I'm not on the internet. You don't see me. Oh, great show tonight. Tag Elizabeth. Great show. No, it doesn't exist. Yeah. I am not doing that. I go, I eat, I watch a movie, I'm doing anything, TV, whatever, but I'm doing everything but the internet, social media, thinking about the show, plotting out the next day, getting my head clouded up, keeping my brain working, and no, I'm unwinding.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so, and you don't see it, but no, everybody, it's not that I don't love you. I do, but I need to disconnect. I need to make sure that my brain stops working through those processes that you're talking about. So am I on a computer plotting? No, I'm thinking about the day in my head. What am I going to do when I get up? Okay, and disconnect, watch a movie, watch a comedy, not thinking about the world or, wow, what was that? That was awesome. Scared the crap out of me.
Sorry.
But that's what I do and get into that mode of sleep. When I wake up in the morning, Elizabeth, and I started this about a year ago, I used to do just that. Oh, wake up, pick up my phone, right? First thing.
Yeah, it's habitual. It becomes habitual.
First thing. No. No. That's right there. Whatever's there is there. I start off my day, shower, this, that, and thinking about, the day and what, but I'm not doing it via the phone. I'm not doing that. No, I don't plug in, and it's very rare. I'll write. I'll do things, because I do have a job, but I'm not going there. I'm not connecting, and that's it. It's a magical thing. And you see the transformation. Why is it that so many right now, when they hear you and I talking about this, it's like kryptonite to them. Oh, no, I can't do that. I'll do anything else. I'll biohack, but I can't give up my phone in the morning. What are you talking about? Right? It's like kryptonite.
Yeah. I mean, that really sets the precedence for your day, too. I mean, if you're grabbing your phone immediately, I mean, do you know how much, I'm going to say the word again, Do you know how much stimulus is going into your brain when
man.
you're reaching for your phone the minute you get up and you start scrolling? I mean, your brain takes in everything, even though you don't consciously take in everything. It picks up everything. I mean, you're exhausting your systems the minute you get up. It's not a great way to start the day.
No.
And it's not.
I don't want to disappoint, but it's really an honest thing. You know, Jimmy, did you get my email? They'll call, right? No. It's not that I didn't want to read your email.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read anybody's email, right? It's not focused at you. How come you didn't see my tweet? Well, I didn't see anybody's.
Right.
Believe it or not, you know, and I will set aside time for that, but I'm not doing that all day long. I'm just not. I'm not. And I'm better for it. I'm better for it. You're absolutely right. That external stimulus, and most of it is negative, I don't engage in it.
Yeah. And honestly, the blue lights and how it affects our eyes and how it affects our brain and bodies. I mean, it's really, really terrible for you right before you go to sleep too. You should not have, or even, look at screens an hour to 2 hours before you go to sleep. You should not have your eyes exposed to any blue light 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. You will not get into the correct states of sleep. There's 3 different kinds of sleep that you get: light, REM, and deep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they all perform different functions for your body and brain. So it's important to reach all of these levels of sleep, So, I mean, you could get blue blockers, these glasses that block blue light. You can, do things like that. I mean, my home, I have these red tinted light bulbs. So after the sun goes down, I'll turn on my red tinted light bulbs instead of my bright light bulbs.
I'm looking at them right now, by the way.
Yeah.
She's practicing what she's preaching. I read a study. This is about 2 months ago this came out. Now, this is research that has been going on for a while, which you're talking about right now, that everybody's complaining about not being able to go to sleep at night. And in the study, they found out that it was like 9 out of 10 people that complain are looking at an iPad or a phone in bed and then wonder why their brain won't turn off. And that blue light and the frequency that it is vibrating on is keeping your brain at full pump.
Yeah.
Full pump.
Yes.
You are on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Normally it's a 2-hour wind down. That's what it is. And you're keeping it, so it's midnight and you're looking at your phone and you wonder why you can't fall asleep till 2.
Yeah.
That's why. Right?
Yeah. And you're missing necessary levels of sleep, I mean, deep sleep cleans and basically detoxifies your body, and REM sleep detoxifies your brain. Your lymphatic system is active when you're sleeping. That's your basic lymphatic system in your brain, your toxic waste disposal system.
Right. No, okay.
So if you're not getting into these great levels of sleep, I mean, you're not getting a good detox when you're sleeping.
Yeah, you know how many people are like, man. My phone before bed. Just listen and just try it. Just you know what? Just put the thing down. Okay, talk about analog and old school. In this study, you know what it said? Read a book. Right? There's no blue, there's no frequencies, and you wonder why you get tired when you read a book? That's why.
Right. Right.
That's why. Read a book. And let's close with this. Let's talk about diet. Biohacking your life and how important diet is. Now, don't ruin my life for me right now and just take away the things that I love. But how important is diet?
You know what? Diet plays a big role, honestly, because it can, the more toxins that you're filled up with, your mental health probably won't be that great, and your mental just won't be functioning at your optimal level. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I'm really not for fad diets. I'm not really for any specific anything. I really think that everybody, everything is different for everybody. Culturally, wherever you were born at, everybody has different microbes in their gut, depending on where they grew up at, and what type of food they like to eat, and they eat on a daily basis. So, I mean, everybody needs to probably eat healthy, but I would not say any diet is great for anybody. Honestly, biohackers really go get their levels tested. I get blood work all the time. You get, fecal work. You test everything to know what is specifically good for your vessel, for your specific vessel, because what's good for your vessel is not going to be good for another's. I mean, I love kale, and I can handle kale and broccoli and spinach. But if Billy were to eat some kale or broccoli or spinach, it would tear him up. So, I mean, what works for one may not work for another. I will say, though, that sugar is awful for your body. Sugar is no good.
See, you just killed it for me. You just killed it. No, okay. Now, are you talking about pure sugar or the poison fructose manufactured sugars?
Yeah, I mean, high fructose corn syrup is probably one of the worst.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, processed stuff is just, just horrible for you. I mean, what I do, I replace my sugar with stevia, and it's, a sweetener that's way, way, way healthier for your body than sugar is. Sugar is very inflammatory. It can cause holes in your gut lining, which is really, really bad. It's really, really not good. So if you can substitute it with, other different things, I would advise to do so. I've cut sugar completely out of my life. And honestly, whenever I taste it now, it's kind of gross to me. I don't know. I've gotten used to my coffee with stevia, and I don't really, I don't too much. I eat chocolate from time to time, but
right. No, I just take a bag of pure sugar and eat it with a spoon.
Oh man.
No, I don't. Sounds good though. That does not sound bad to me. I freak out on fructose. When you really start to look at it, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I just eliminate it. Now there are things that I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up pure maple syrup. Right? No. That's not going to leave my life. Right? It's not. There are certain things that I enjoy. And you're right about that. It's the way that we're brought up. But there are things that I can't do anymore. Right? I just can't. I can't do it. And one of those is fructose, and it's really weird. You read a label, and you wouldn't think about it.
Yeah,
but it's like in everything.
Oh, so, it is.
Now,
it is.
True. Now, what about one? I just have a quick question for you, because you are so healthy and you glow, literally glow. What about carbs and protein? How do you balance that?
You know what? Carbs, I honestly, I eat potatoes sweet potatoes and stuff like that instead of actual wheat and gluten.
Right.
I try to stay away from gluten. Gluten will tear up your gut. Some people, it really, really, really affects in a negative way. So when I gave that up and steered more toward quinoa and, like I said, potatoes and rice, that's better for me personally. So I'll always eat some sort of carb. I'm trying to gain weight right now. So I'll always eat, I'm kind of stacking up the carbs right now. I'll always eat some sort of carb, and then protein. I love protein. For me personally, meat is heavily in my diet because I'm Korean. Asian people eat a lot of meat. So for me, I handle a ton of meat, red meat, chicken, fish. I love it. I love it all. Fish, you have to be careful with, mercury levels. That's another test that people might want to go out and try,
right.
Get a test. See if you have heavy metals in your system. See if your mercury levels are high, because that can affect your mental health. That can affect you really, really deeply. So
the people that heavy sushi eaters, they would be shocked if they went and found out what their mercury levels, and they think that they're eating healthy. Well, okay, in moderation, but if you're doing that every day, twice a day, and I've got friends that got really, really sick.
Oh yeah.
From that. And by the way, we didn't even bring that up. You were born in Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Korea.
You were born in Korea. And one last, I want to stay on this carbs thing because I'm trying to figure this out myself. What about rice?
So for me, because I was born in Korea, we can handle a ton of rice, a ton. Okay. But I don't think as for an American person that was born in America, I don't think that they could handle as much rice as I could handle personally. So that goes back to saying, you really have to test your own physical body, because your vessel is completely different than my vessel. I could probably eat 10 pounds of rice and my gut could process that in a great way. I wouldn't even feel any negative effects from it. Whereas a person that was, born in America and eating an American diet their entire life, it would make them pretty sick, probably.
Yeah. And
brown rice actually has a lot of heavy metals in it, so I would be careful with brown rice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I've been doing brown rice lately instead of jasmine. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. Appreciate that.
I'll go back to jasmine, to be honest. I've done a lot of research on brown rice because I love brown rice. I love it, but there's higher amounts of arsenic in it. I mean, there's arsenic in all rice, but heavy metals are a problem when it comes to brown.
I won't even tell you what I ate last night. Great. So, really quick, how's the book doing, and where can everybody go and get their copy?
The book is doing great. It's doing really, really great. And I'm so grateful for everybody that has gotten it so far. And I just hope that it lends some sort of positive something in their lives. And they can find it on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon and search The Recipe to Elevated Consciousness, or you can go to my website, Elizabeth, spelled with an S, Hoekstra.com, or you can go to Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4.com.
You're the very best, Elizabeth, and I am so thankful for our friendship and everything that you do for this community. You're absolutely amazing, and you're just an inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much. Give my best to Billy safe travels. I will see you in a couple of months in Detroit for the premiere of the movie, and let's just continue this life journey together. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Jimmy. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
The absolute very best right there, Elizabeth Hoekstra. Again, it's all simple to do, everybody. Her websites are right there, jimmychurchradio.com, elizabethhoekstra.com, and forbiddenknowledge.tv. And, of course, you can head over to Amazon. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to take a quick break. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
Listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church. Jason Martell's book, Knowledge Apocalypse 10-Year Anniversary Edition, is now available. Most ancient cultures speak of a time when their gods visited them. They never say their gods came from across the ocean or from the mountains. They always came down from the skies. Was ancient man visited by gods or extraterrestrials? We have not been told the full truth about our human past. There was a time when all the ancient cultures lived amongst beings they considered their gods. The search for truth leads us down the path of learning where the ETs might come from and why they are here. To understand some of these advanced topics and learn the truth about human origins, buy the new book from Jason Martell, Knowledge Apocalypse, now in its 10-year anniversary edition, available on Amazon.com by clicking on the banners over on our site, or simply visit JasonMartell.com. That's JasonMartell.com. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Unex Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNXDB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
This is Kristen, Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm Jimmy Church. What a great conversation. Elizabeth Hoekstra. Grounded. The book is a great read, and the links for it are up in social media, and you can go over to the website too as well. And I highly recommend this book. It's great. And the thing is, and I want to go back here and talk about Sedona and Phoenix a bit more. So much to talk about. But it is so important for you to surround yourself with people that want to move forward, with people that are not negative. That is one of the most paramount things. And not only in your 2D, 3D world, I'm talking about people that you hang out with in real life, but also in the world of social media. You need to have positive people around you. And it is one of the biggest steps, the biggest changes that you can initiate. And I promise you, you start to just stop returning calls, stop making those calls, stop just stop making with those that are negative. I promise you, 2 or 3 months, and you'll go back and you will look back and go, man, I can't believe my life was actually like that. Because right now, things are great. And it's one of the biggest things that you can do. And with somebody like, I'll give a perfect example. Like Elizabeth is a great example of that, or Billy. For me, around Adrian Valera, a positive ray of light. And all he wants to do, his thing today, after going through these changes and biohacking his life, we did a lot of talking about this and how our life journey with the two of us, how we got here today. And we discussed this personally at length for hours. And the similarities between the two of us, we are two opposites attract, right? We are two totally different people. And but the similarities are there. And I want to hang out with Adrian. He's a positive force, and his goals in life are, and these are things that all of us take for granted. Not for him. I'm talking about cleaning the beaches in Southern California. That's one of the things that he does, and he puts these groups of people together, and they go out and they clean the beaches. Who does this? That's something that we take for granted. Not Adrian. He's the one doing it. Feeding the homeless, educating the homeless. Who does that? Well, you know what Adrian does? Guy's prepping meals every single day and going down to Skid Row. That's what he does. Planting trees. That's what he does. It's what he does. I remember one year, I've seen it every year, but at Disclosure Fest, so I show up there, and there are, it's like 1,000 trees in pots getting ready to go and get delivered, put in the ground around Los Angeles, planting trees, like lots of them. Who does that? You ever wonder how that gets done? It's a guy like Adrian. That's who I want around me. I want a positive influence. That's what you do. That's what you do. It's the first step in life is surrounding yourself with winners. And is it a financial thing? Well, yeah. Not directly, but what I'm saying is when you go down the positive road, and you surround yourself, then suddenly, with the negative influence gone from your life, things come back. And you will see those changes that you are doing for yourself. You don't want to, and I've said this a lot, don't chase the money. Don't chase success. Don't make that your goal. You'll never get there. No, that's not it. Surrounding yourself with positivity, chasing your bliss, chasing the things that make you happy, then things change in your life. and you're not chasing money. The money is chasing you now. And it's like, wow, it's easier than, and it's really true. As soon as you find that happiness and you surround yourself with positivity, that's how you start to biohack your life. And if there's a secret, that's, what's the secret? What's this? Well, you know what? Successful people, not necessarily financially, because that comes later, for sure. I'm not in any way discounting that. But successful people, happy people, are not surrounded with negativity. They're not. I don't have time for it. So now, an example of this is this road trip that I just took to Sedona and to Phoenix. I've got a positive person that is my co-pilot. Nothing but positive energy all the way out and around. And then there, I just posted some pictures. And this is, and I want everybody to go and see this. Go to my Twitter feed at JChurchRadio. I posted this set of pictures, and it's very simple. It just says some pics from Sedona. Okay? Now, look at these 4 pictures. 1, the dinner that I did with Carolyn Ford and Joan of Angels, and look at Victoria, look at Adrian, look at Melinda Leslie. Everybody's smiling. That's what you want around you. There was not one negative vibe, well, on the whole trip, actually. But that right there, that's what you want. You want this positivity. Go to this, let's see what's next. There's Geraldine Orozco. I'm smiling. Well, you can't see. You can see it in my eyes. Look at her face. That's a positive person. That's a positive vibe. That's a glowing thing. That's what I want around me, is that right there. Next picture. This is Brandon. He owned the house that we were at for the party on Saturday night. And Tanjanita right there. Look at her. Look at the positive vibes. Now, granted, we're doing Jell-O shots, but look at the positive vibe. That's the glowing thing. And I'm telling you, that little get-together at that home, everybody was like that. Just positive. There's no negativity there. It's not even allowed. And then, best for last, picture I took of William Henry with his beautiful wife, Claire, and look at that, 3 smiling faces. That's a positive atmosphere. That's what I want around me. There's no place for negativity. And that was the trip to Sedona. And then next up, I have more. I just grabbed these really quick. But I wanted to show everybody the next shot from Phoenix Lights. There's Carl. There's Carl, the fire pit. There's Carl. And you know what? At the end of this road trip, to have Carl come up and go, Jimmy, and throw his arms around me and give me that hug. For everybody over in the chat room right now, I hope all of you are looking at this, but that is Carl. Carl, you are absolutely magnetic, my man. And it just completed this journey. And then there's Dr. Lynn at the documentary 20th anniversary of the Phoenix Lights. But look at her; she glows, and it was great. That was a great event, full of positivity, by the way. And all of the Fadernauts that were there, you guys know who you are, and gals, to come up and say hello was just it's a humbling experience. But it was a great event and a great positive event. But I wanted to get these pictures up here of Dr. Lynn and myself. We just had a great time. And Katie Grabowski, you are just an amazing woman. just an amazing presence. And got to hang out with Katie for the afternoon, too, as well. And Katie, if you're listening, you're the absolute very best. I think that they are all, no, they're not listening right now because after the Phoenix Lights, Katie went up to Sedona because she was speaking today there with Dwayne Ollinger and some other great folks for day 4 of the event. But that's what you do. You surround yourself with positivity, and there you go. So there's some images. I'll post some more tomorrow, and so everybody can see more about the weekend. With that, I've opened up the phone lines. Actually, I didn't announce it, but some calls started to come in. So let's see who's here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Mike from Buena Vista, Colorado.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. How about yourself?
It's a great night, man. I just had Elisabeth Hoekstra on. You know?
I was listening.
Yeah, what a great night. What a great night. What's on your mind?
So I talking about positivity and surrounding yourself with positivity. I am the secretary on the board for a nonprofit charity called CBR Kids.
Right.
And it's at cbrkids.com.
What do you do?
And we, right now, get unread comic book contributions and unused toys and things like that and take them to children's hospitals in Denver.
Oh, man. Man, that's got to be like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. You know, I live 2 hours and 15 minutes away, so I'm not involved in that aspect of it. But my best friend is Kareem Kamal Taylor, and he is the founder and CEO of this thing, and it's starting to take off.
Now, where can everybody go? What's it called? CBR Kids. What is it again?
cbrkids.org.
Okay. And that's what you guys do. So you get unused. Did you say unused comic books?
Yeah, for the children's hospital, everything has to be unused and boxed.
Right, and unused toys. So you collect those, and then take them to the children's hospital. Man, that's about as noble and as glorious as anything I can think of. That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, and my friend came to me with this idea just maybe a year and a half ago, and in April they get their well, you can claim it on your taxes. They haven't been. We haven't really been a charity for that long. So, but in April, people can start writing these donations off. But they've got Amazon has collection sites in their warehouse in Denver, and they're just like giving so much. And we've got a bunch of comic book artists that are sending us original works that we can auction off. We have auctions once a month in Denver.
Well, if Michael Oeming is listening, he's one of the great comic book artists, him and his wife Taki Soma, on this planet. Michael, if you're listening, you know what to do right now. cbrkids.org, and he knows everybody in that world. He's one of the great artists. As a matter of fact, like on Twitter. Right, my little what do you call it? My avatar. That's him. He drew that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's the best. You know the one me standing next to the robot Gort.
Yeah.
That's Michael Oeming. If you look, you can see his signature down at the bottom. It says Oeming.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. That's Michael Oeming. So Michael, he's gonna. If he's not listening now, he'll be listening tomorrow.
Okay.
He listens to the show when he draws, and him and Taki, and they're the best. So he's going to have to go, oh, man. All right, church. Give him something to do.
My name is Michael O'Neill, so that's pretty close.
Yeah, that's even strange, too. Well, how synchronicities, right? How important is it, Michael, to surround yourself with positive people?
Oh, it's the most important thing. I also own a cheesesteak restaurant up here in Buena Vista, and I run it with my wife. And she's the brains. I'm merely eye candy. I just talk to people. I'm good at talking. But we have the best crew in town. We're a town of about 2,500 people. So, you know, the people that you surround yourself with are very important. And everybody that works for us loves working for us. And we reciprocate that with, you know, bonuses and things like that. And it keeps everybody positive. And if you look at the reviews from my restaurant, I don't know if I should say the name.
Yeah, go ahead, plug it, man. Plug it right now.
Cool. It's Biggie's Subs. We're a cheesesteak place. And I have customers from South Philly that come back every week. Every week say, this is as good as anything I get in South Philly.
I'm looking here. Oh, here it is. Biggie's Subs and More right here, Buena Vista, Colorado. Look at that sandwich.
Yeah.
So that's you. Okay, hold on a minute, man. Now I get to look at the menu. And cold subs, too, as well. You know what's weird? I go both ways. I'm okay. I'm okay with the Philly cheesesteak, right? That's where my heart lies. But there's something about a cold Italian, spicy Italian sub. Do you have like a cold, spicy Italian on the menu?
We have a spicy and a regular Italian, and we serve Amorosa rolls, like the real deal.
Can I live vicariously through you for a second? Just let me enjoy the moment. So you guys are baking your own bread?
No, we get it shipped in from Philadelphia.
Oh, even better. Where do they come from in Philly? You know, is it true? It's the water? Is it the water?
Yeah. Well, it's something about the East Coast. I spend a lot of time on Cape Cod, and the baked goods are so much better near the ocean. So much better.
Roast beef and cheddar. Oh man, green chili.
The green chili Philly is the best sandwich on the planet. I put my money on the green chili Philly. You put it up against any single sandwich.
Oh man, ham stinger. What is that?
2 mozzarella. No. That's ham and cheese, 2 chicken tenders, 2 sauces, lettuce, tomato, and onions.
Oh, that's not even right.
I know. And then we've got the biggie, which is 2 mozzarella sticks, 2 onion rings, 2 chicken tenders on a cheesesteak, lettuce and tomato, and 2 sauces on that.
That is so wrong, it's right.
Yeah, we sell a lot of them.
Oh, man.
You should make a trip up here, Jimmy.
Yeah, I just can't get past the Giorgio Tsoukalos. Once I get past that... this is great, man, and I love food. See, this is the thing: food consciousness, oneness, service to others, UFOs, conspiracy, ghost, music. That's all I want this show to be, and that's what makes me who I am. But this conversation with you and what you do. That's what this show was about, Mike. You know, and for you to feel the connection because of the conversation I had tonight with Elizabeth, but then you just call in and let us know, you know, you're not just, no, what you do is you are making children at the Children's Hospital, their life just a little bit better, right? That's what you do. And I think that is so important. And it just so happens you got a kick-ass Philly cheesesteak shop, too, as well. And that's the icing on the cake. But I just find that's just humbling to me, man. And I think everybody should listen to what you have to say when you say it's about giving and doing stuff for others. Well, you actually live it, Mike. And good on you, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate taking my call.
Now go have some coffee. Hey, is there a way?
I'm drinking a Heineken.
Is there a way? Is there a way I can order? Can you ship some food to me?
I haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Man, because I want this green chili Philly, man.
You need to make a trip up here. You'll never see a more beautiful place in your life. The town is bordered by 7 14,000-foot mountains on the west side, and then the mountains that turn into the Sangre de Cristos on the east side.
Right.
And then right down the middle runs the Arkansas River.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. Well, maybe you can figure. Isn't it like dry ice? You could just like build a dry ice box and then pack it and then send it to me?
I'll try and figure it out, man. I will really try and figure it out.
Man. I want this green chili Philly. I don't know. That ham stinger's looking pretty good. Maybe I'm just going to order everything off of the menu. And then this just looks incredible to me. Mike, my best to you and your wife and your family. And I'll see what I can do about getting Michael Oeming and the rest of his comic book buddies to get you all hooked up. Not only for the auction, but maybe some boxed up stuff for the kids.
Oh, man, you're going to make me cry.
No, hey, that's what we do here, man. We just get this community connected. We're a family. Mike, behave and be well. We'll see you tomorrow night right here.
Yeah, I'll be here, man. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much. And that's a great phone call right there. That's what Fader-Knots are. And that's what this show is about right there. And when I say surround yourself with positivity, right there, that phone call, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go. Kaz just posted Biggie's. I'm going to do a retweet on this. And this is Biggie's. There you go. Thank you, Kaz, for that. Let me get this retweet happening. And see, again, that's this family. That's the Fader-Knot family right there. And there, I just tweeted it out. And yeah, Mike, you need to figure out a way to get this stuff to the rest of the country. That is totally noble. So yeah, surround yourself with positive people. Right there, the Fader-Knot family. Mike calling in saying that's what he does. That's it, and that's what makes you happy. Chase your bliss. Surround yourself with nothing but positivity. And go and check out the images that I just posted from Sedona and from Phoenix, because it was just a great positive weekend. I wanted to maybe I'll save this for Fader night, but we were talking about, and I'm out of time. I'll save this for Fader night, but I'm out to dinner. Right, I've got Carolyn Ford. I've got Melinda Leslie there, and Virginia Reynolds or Victoria Reynolds, Joan of Angels, and of course Adrian. But I've got this everybody's like, connection, right? And I told everybody the story about the shoes, right? My little ghost, here at the house, and to sit there for probably an hour in a positive way, everybody talking about what is actually going on. It was one of the coolest conversations I've had in a long, long time. I wish all of you could have been there. It was absolutely incredible. Well, listen, this is first-time guest week again here on Fade to Black. What we've got lined up this week is absolutely incredible. Again, another first-time guest week here on Fade to Black. And tonight, that, of course, was Elisabeth Hoekstra. Tomorrow night, Stormy Daniels is here. We're going to be talking about spooky babes, ghost hunting, the paranormal, the supernatural, all of that tomorrow night with Stormy. And then Wednesday night, Sean Cahill is here. And this really, especially underneath what is going on the surface, but underneath in our community last summer, Skyfort. What is Skyfort? Okay. Now, it's going to be UAPs, the subject of UAPs on Wednesday night. But what is Skyfort and who is involved and what is the agenda there? That's going down Wednesday night. First time guest week again here on Fade to Black. It's what I do, and I am just in a great mood. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is only copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here on this program, Stormy Daniels. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. It's time to fade to black.